maybe MTech students who are in academics. So in academic process, the publication is very much integral part of the research. Through publication, we disseminate our knowledge to the community. So publication is extremely integral part of the research. So this publication helps the PhD students, master student in getting their degrees. So for them it is highly essential. For academics as well, publication is extremely important to meet their KPI for this annual report. It helps in their academic promotions, etc. So I have wide experience of publishing research paper in wide variety of journals, conferences. So I just prepared this slide very quickly, just to prepare some guidelines. How we can publish in high quality journals conference. If we have to select a suitable journal, how we can find, and in the discipline of power and energy areas, what are the different journals. So I just try to make some list of journals. And when we are publishing, so how we can avoid publishing in poor quality journals, which way it can impact our research, our profile, and then some publication ethics issues. So we'll briefly discuss about that, and then I give some general guidelines how to write a paper. So here I want that this session to be interactive, so I will give some time so that if you have any queries, questions, feel free to discuss, share your experience as well. So when obviously we researchers would like to publish research paper in high quality journals. Okay. So now the questions come like how we can decide that which journals are high quality, how the quality of the journals can be decided. So these journals are generally listed as SCI index, Scopus index, etc. Okay, mainly we have the listings which is very important in academics, SCI index, Scopus index. Now everywhere this for PhDs and for academic promotions, so this is extremely important that we publish in high quality journals. So this should be indexed in SCI, Scopus, etc. Now in India also this is becoming at least mandatory to publish in some good quality journals. Then in addition to SCI, Scopus index, we can also decide the quality of the journal publication by means of the impact factor of the journals. So different journals will have their impact factor, and based upon the impact factor, we can also get an idea the quality of journal. Then another way of seeing that journal. So who is the publisher for that journal? Okay. If it is a reputed publisher, then we can also think that it is a high quality journal. So the reputed publishers, as we know in our discipline, can like IEEE, IIT, Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Wiley, etc. Even some of the newly started journals from these reputed publishers may not have the SCI or Scopus index, because for a new journal to get this indexing SCI, Scopus, etc., it can take minimum 2 to 3 years. Okay, if there is some very newly started journal from these publishers, so in the beginning, although it is from the highly reputed publisher, but it may not it will not have the Scopus or SCI index. So the PhD students, as a requirement, as per their university, they can keep this point in mind as well. Then the reputation of the journal in the professional community. Sometimes the journal may have the impact factor may not be very high, but in the professional community, we consider that this journal is very reputed, very respectable among the community. And we can also see that some journal can be very old. So the journal has been standing for large number of years. That will also reflect the quality of the journal, because it takes some time for the journal to become popular and ranked as the good quality. Then there are the scientific ratings of the journals, abbreviated as SJR. So several universities also give the consideration of what is the scientific journals ranking. So these journals are classified as Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So obviously Q1 will be the best quality, followed by Q2, Q3, Q4. So the different journals are classified as Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. From this below website, you can see the SGR rating of the journals. So this list may not be exhaustive to get an idea about the quality of journal, but these could be some of the main points which we can keep in mind while deciding the quality of the journal. Now, same way, when we are targeting publishing in good quality conference, then which points we keep in mind? Then of course we consider that the conference being, by whom the conference is being organized. What is the society which is organizing conference, like IEEE, IET, Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, etc. So we see that if the publisher is reputed, generally we can see that conference should be a reputed one. And then in recent time, we will also be interested in knowing that after this conference is over, will it be published in some database where it can be referred at later stage widely. It is not sufficient that conference is published and the proceeding is provided in terms of USB stick or hard copy. That's not sufficient. But if the conference is widely available, like if there is IEEE conference, so it will be available through IEEE Explore. Similarly, the other conference can also be available through their journals. Then also we can keep in mind that if the conference are Scopus index, etc. So this is also important point to consider. Then of course we have to keep in mind that while planning conference, how much is the conference fees? Normally outside world conference are quite expensive. So before submitting paper, we have to ensure that how much is the conference fees, is there support from the university, or how it will manage. It may in past it may involve travel as well, but in the current COVID situation, this year at least, conference are virtual. So we may need to consider the other aspect, how much the conference fees, travel, registration, etc. Even we can see if there can be some collaboration, some other participants can help in registering, presenting the papers. So these points have to be considered before planning to submit the paper in the conference. Then also we need to see what could be the other benefits from this conference in terms of networking, what sort of networking the conference will help. Then some conference will mention that the extended version of paper will be published in some journals. Okay. I would like to just mention, for example, the Applied Energy Journal of the Elsevier. So they have the annual conference, international conference on applied energy. This year conference will be in Bangkok. So a significant portion of the conference, around 20% or so, so they are invited for the extended paper for consideration or publication in Applied Energy Journal. Of course, there will be again full review process, but there can be comparatively some good possibility of acceptance of paper. So we can also consider that if there is possibility of publication in some journal, maybe in the extended version of paper. So these different points can be considered while publishing in conference paper. Then the next point I want to discuss that how to find a suitable journal in which we can publish. In recent time, you can see, I will show the list as well. There are large number of journals from the different publishers, IEEE, IET, Elsevier, Springers, etc. Okay, so one of the way I also use sometimes that, for example, when you Google it, you can find the journal finder. So this can be available in the different publisher, for example, Elsevier. So you can find through this what are the potential journal relevant to particular research paper. What are the potential journal which can be suitable. So in that, basically when you click on this link, then it will ask you some information that what is the title of your paper, abstract, you copy the title, abstract, and you can also place few keywords as well. Then it will show the list of potential journal. So this journal finder Elsevier, it will only show the potential Elsevier journal. Okay, so from the Elsevier database, it will show the potential journal. So what sort of information it will show? It will show in the sequence what are the potential journal with highest matching with the scope. Okay, it will also show what is the impact factor of these journals, how much is approximate review time to make a decision. Okay, so this information, of course, most of the journal they will show is very less time. It may not be very correct, but it can give you some idea, and maybe the journal finder, it doesn't take much time, so at least it can give you some idea that what are the potential journals. So I think this can be a good point to get an idea from the Elsewhere journal. Similarly, there can be journal finder from others journal as well, like Springer or Wiley, etc. Now, this is list of selected important journals. It is not the exhaustive list, but some way it can be good to keep in mind. First is the IEEE transactions. IEEE transactions. We are in Power Engineering Society. So in Power Engineering Society, we have 5 journals. I just forget one, Power Delivery as well. So we have IEEE transaction on energy conversion, power systems, one more Power Delivery, sustainable energy, smart grid. Their impact factors are also shown. Generally, the IEEE transactions are shown, means considered to be high quality journal. Then on the industrial electronics side, there are industrial electronics, industrial informatics. There can be IEEE transaction on power electronics, and there is like a IEEE system journal. So this IEEE system journal, the scope of this journal is quite wide as well. So basically, any large or complex system, the scope of this journal can fit into that, where there is a large or complex system. It can be in different areas like power or communication. So its scope is quite wide as well. We have several journals from IET. So very popular 2 journals which have been ongoing from long time: IET Generation, Transmission and Distribution, then IET Renewable Power Generation, with the impact factor something around 3 to 4. Then we have some other journals like IEEE Power Electronics, IET Power Electric Power Applications. Then there are some new journals which have been started very recently in 1 or 2 years, like IEEE Smart Grid, IEEE Smart Cities, IEEE Energy Systems. There can be 1 or 2 more as well. So even these journals may not be, because they might be recently started, they may not have any impact factor, they may not have any listing as Scopus or SCI index. And there is like the Journal of Engineering, which is like an open access journal. So obviously they will ask from the authors fees, publication fees. Sometime the conference from this IET, like this IET has got its annual conference, IET Renewable Power Generation. So sometime in the past, the conference paper will also be published in the current form as it is in the Journal of Engineering. And this Journal of Engineering also got the Scopus index. Then we have got the Elsewhere. In fact, Elsewhere there are large number of journals in power and energy discipline. So I just listed around 10 journals, but there can be many more. It can be around 50. So if you consider the journal in the wide scope of power and energy. So mainly in the power area, we have two very popular journals. International Journal of Electrical Power and Energy Systems, Electric Power System and Research. So they are like core power journals. Renewable energy papers will also be widely published in these journals. Then on the energy areas, renewable energy, or in the wide scope of energy, there are large number of journals. Just to mention few, applied energy. So this applied energy, a very high impact factor journal. Its impact factor is around 8.6, something like that. Then of course we have several other journals like energy. Participants, can you please keep your mic close, please, to avoid any interruption. Energy conversion and management. There is one journal, Renewable and Sustainable Energy Reviews. So this journal has also very high impact factor, over 11. In past, this journal used to only publish review papers. I think recently, in addition to review, they have started considering some research papers as well. Then there are other journals like the Renewable Energy Journal of Energy Storage. There is one journal, JESTEC, International Journal of Science and Technology, with wider scope. So I listed this like only just few, but if you search around energy, so you can find, I think, around 50 journals. Journal on solar energy. There are huge number of journals with high impact factor as well. So you can use the link Journal Finder to find the suitable journals, which will be broadly in the scope of the journals. You can see the information about the impact factor. You can get the information regarding like this typical time a journal can take in the review process. Then we have the other publishers as well. For example, we have very quite respectable journal, Electric Power Components and Systems from Taylor and Francis. So this journal publishing, I think, around 70s or 80s. In the discipline, it is considered good reputation, with listed as SCI and Scopus. But the impact factor of this journal may not be high. I'm not sure exactly, but it can be around 1 or so. Then there can be some other journals from the Taylor and Francis, like International Journal of Modeling and Simulation, Smart Science, and there can be few more as well, which can be suitable for the power and renewable energy. Then in Wiley, we have one very popular journal, International Journal of Electrical Energy Systems. In the past, it used to call as European Transaction of Electrical Power. So this journal is also quite good, having impact factor something between 1.2 to 2, and this journal is also quite good. Then we have some other journals like this International Journal of Emerging Electric Power Systems, and in ACTA Press, Calgary, Canada, there are several journals. To mention one, like International Journal of Power Energy Systems, International Journal of Modeling and Simulation. So there are several journals. Then you can have the few journals in the area of power, energy, or like a journal started around 3 years earlier, technology and economics of smart grid and sustainable energy. So covering wide area of power, renewable energy, smart grid. And this is a Springer journal. I think recently this journal got the Scopus and I think essay indexing as well. Then there is another journal, electrical engineering in Springer. This is also quite good journal with the impact factor something around 1. Now, we should avoid as far as publishing in poor quality journal. This is extremely important. Sometimes as a PhD student, because of lack of knowledge, even faculty members sometimes lack of knowledge, or sometimes we think that we can publish fast. So it can be like, short-term objective, but in long term, we may think that we have not made a good decision, because publishing in some poor quality journal, it can negatively impact the research. Okay, you can compare this situation like, your research might be very good, but if you published in poor quality journal, so it means your good research you have wasted. Like you can compare the situation like the farmer when he's taking its crop to the mandi, and there the quality of the grain is very good, but he is not getting the right price. So you can compare the situation like that. Your research is really good, but if you publish in poor quality journal, so is your research almost wasted, because this research may not have any impact and the journal may not have any indexing, Scopus, SCI. Even it can negatively impact your profile at later stage. So how we call it the poor quality journals? Poor quality journals can be in terms of there can be some non-reputed or poor quality publishers. Sometimes you may receive the emails from these publishers that we would like to publish your research papers. We will publish paper in a week's time. We will charge you this much of money and sort of thing. So you can easily get an understanding that publishing in these journals could be very, very harmful as well. So as I mentioned, publishing in this kind of journal, it might be good even not to publish rather than publishing in this poor quality journal. Sometimes due to our lack of knowledge, because it takes time to understand all these things. So lack of knowledge, sometimes we publish in poor quality journals, although our profile is quite good, lengthy. What we do? So even at least from our CV, we can drop these poor quality publications. Like if you have 50 publications, 2-3 publications are you consider are not in good journals or it can negatively impact. So you can simply drop it from your CV. It might be published, it might be available, but when you are applying for maybe say any promotion or so, then you say, okay, I have published, I don't have knowledge about that at that time, but I am not claiming for the position I am applying. So at least you can try to justify. So if something is published in past, even it can be simply dropped from your CV, even you have from your Google Scholar, etc., which is publicly available. Even from that uh, uh, publicly available like this Google Scholar link or Scopus listing or ResearchGate, even you can, say particularly in Google Scholar, you can edit, you can drop this publication. If it appears again, you can timely just clean up to look the list nice. Then it is very important uh, to avoid publishing in poor quality journals or these journals are normally called as the predatory journals. You might have heard this term. Probably you through this link you can find the large number of journals which can be listed as the predatory journals. Okay, you can just try to click on this list and you can find that there might be large number of journals which might be listed as predatory journals. So it is advisable to have a look and try to avoid publishing in those journals. Sometimes you yourself can get an idea, as I mentioned, that sometimes you receive the email from some poor quality non-reputed journals that they will send the email that we are interested in your research. We ensure that your paper will be promptly published in 1 or 2 weeks time. Of course, there will be fees associated with that. That fees that they charge, they do not provide you any service. Of course, they publish paper. They can publish paper without review process, without making any improvement in the publications. So their motive is mainly behind money. Even sometime on their website, they will provide some wrong information. Wrong information can be sometime they will write the journal has good impact factor, but that cannot be verified and that information is not correct. Sometimes they can provide you not correct information on the website. Even sometimes their website is not working or it is poorly appearing. So you can get an idea about the the quality of journal. In recent time in the internet age, getting this information is not that difficult. So it is very much essential, important to avoid publishing in those sort of poor quality journals, because at one point of time you can think that it will be helpful, but in long run definitely it can impact. I see several PhD theses I am examining from India. The research work done is quite nice, but the publication they make it, even I don't know, whatever the journals I listed, hardly there will be any publication from these journals. So it gives you very bad about your research, that even your research work might be good, but publication in poor journals means that research is not disseminated well. It can impact badly. Then when we are publishing, ethics associated with the publication is extremely important. In recent time, this has become extremely important. In recent time, the issues like plagiarism has become extremely serious issue. In fact, like when we used to be in school, we have been told about the cheating, copying is a serious issue, and sometimes in school we will get punishment for that. But when we come to the like these university levels study, undergraduate, masters, PhD, probably we are not given that much of emphasis on that. In outside world, even for the undergraduate student, when they are submit their assignment, so there generally with every assignment there will be one undertaking that student will write undertaking that this is my own work. If I am found guilty of doing plagiarism, so I'm liable for action. So at least training is there. But what we see like in our country, basically the emphasis is not that much. Sometimes we as a PhD student do not have that much of knowledge. Sometimes we faculty members also may not have that knowledge, and unfortunately lack of knowledge is not helpful. Okay, so this in because as time changes, so these issues becomes more serious. I'm trying based on the experience, wide experience which I have gained from the working in several universities and publication widely. So plagiarism generally can be like if we are taking some text from some other sources, maybe from the internet or published source, without making any proper citation. Okay, so this can be classified as plagiarism. There are different levels of plagiarism. Even just to be safer, even we should be careful, even exactly taking even a single or few sentence directly as it is from the internet or from any source. Okay, so as far as possible, we should try to write in our own words. Okay, so this is very much important, the originality of the text. And if we have to write the exact sentence, then of course we have to put that into these commas along with the source. So this is extremely important. Sometime because as we are progressing, some new terminology keep on coming, and we have to be very careful about that. In past, we may think that this is our own work, so we can reuse. In past, it used to be common practice that if we have conference paper, we can submit in journal. Maybe almost it is or slight bit modification, because in past maybe it might be a common practice. It was not and considered to be a issue. But in recent time, this new terminology coming like the self-work plagiarism. means that multiple publication of the same work in different journal and conferences. So this is also getting very serious issue, self-plagiarism. So it has to be avoided. Even first we published in conference, then if we have to submit journal, then paper has to be significantly revised. They will ask that how much the new material should be there. For example, in past it used to be, in recent time also, it used to be practiced that in past conference paper generally 6 pages and the general paper generally has the limit of 8 pages. So if you just add around 2 more pages, it can be suitable. But now the page wise it is same, but they will say that the similarity from your conference work should not be more than 25%. Okay, so whatever you have written in the conference paper, you cannot take significant material from your own work. So sometimes it may not be a wise step that first you try submitting in conference and then you try in journal. So a very careful consideration is required on that aspect. So when you are submitting conference, then some journal when you want to submit as extended version, so some journal will ask you specifically, is this paper an extended version of conference? So when we are trying to submit the extended version of conference, either during submission, if there is this question asked, then we have to clarify. Even if not, so at least in cover letter or somewhere in the paper, we clearly mention that this work is the extended work from the conference to be very much safe side. And we should provide the proper reference. So for this, the ideas of from where we are just trying to write this thing. Okay. Now the another point, when we are basically in the paper, we have figures, we have equations. So these figures, mathematical equations, these are generally not detected by the similarity index toolbox, like the figures and equations. These will not be generally detected by the similarity index report. So in that case, we have to be careful that these figure equations, these are quite unpublished. Now, for figures, copying of figures from other source is not permissible at all. Sometime we may have thinking in past, it might be quite common practice that if we have taken say few figures, we just took it and cited the reference. Sometimes we may have thinking that okay, we have taken some figures and we just simply cited the reference. So to some extent, it is good that you have disclosed, you have not hide that you have taken from source, but it is not sufficient. Okay, so because we have to be very careful about these publication ethics, because at some point of time it can be a serious issue. So even not publishing would be better than, if sometime due to unfortunate situation we are in trouble. If we have to use some figures or some material from some other publications, so there are ways for doing that. We need to get the written permission from the publisher. Like for example, if there is any IEEE publication, we want to use some figures. It can be, as I show in the morning, that there is like IEEE say reliability test system, which is a must. You have to use it. You think that it is data or it is very common figure, we can use it, but we have to be very safe. So just see what is the original source, and you just go on that, and there is like a very easy access. You just make an online request that you want to use this one figure. Generally, IEEE will give the permission very promptly if there is one or two figures. So they will image it, they will do it promptly. So it is very important to stay safer side. Do not be in confused mind, like okay, it is one figure. Sometimes we don't have knowledge. We ask other colleagues, I just took one figure, is it okay? They will say, yeah, doesn't it matter if one figure is okay? So it is always better to stay safe as far as possible. So even you can just, to stay safer side, you can just make a request for permission. And like for example, you have reliability test system, and then you is conventional system. Then you say, okay, I'm integrating renewables. On one or two bus you added wind or PV. What about that? Then referencing is required, or getting permission. So even some journal are very specific that if you have made modification is how much? Is it some minimum or it is significant? So depending upon how much modification, 20% modification, 40% modification, so accordingly you have to of course cite the reference, but you can use the word adapted from the source with some modification. So there is proper way and proper procedure for that, because sometimes we have slight bit lack of information around the figures. So when we are taking figures from some sources, we have to be very careful. Even with minor modification, we cannot claim that this is our figure. So of course we have to cite the closest reference, and we can say that adapted with some modifications, whatever the case may be. Now, when we are writing the paper or planning the paper for submission in the journal, the paper is ready. Of course, just to mention here, first point, that before submitting any paper, as a first step before submitting any paper, we should do the similarity index check. there are similarity index software, Turnitin, Authenticate, etc. Your university may have available. If not, then some of your colleagues might be there who may have access. So make sure that the similarity index check is done before submitting a paper. So it can't be excused that we are not having this software available. So it is very important that sometime unknowingly, whatever reason, because there are several authors, we don't know who has written which way, or due to lack of knowledge or whatever reason, there can be some issue. Okay, so before submission of paper, checking the similarity index is extremely important. And then you have to see that what is the similarity index in the paper. Okay, when we are doing similarity index, so we should have idea how we are doing. Of course, we can exclude the reference, and there can be few more things which can be excluded or adjusted. Then different journal may have some similarity index that up to what level they will accept. So generally different journals can specify this limit, like say 15%, 20%, 25%, 10%. So this is like a general guideline, but unfortunately this is followed blindly. The journals who are doing the similarity index, it might be done by the non-technical journal administrator who have no idea about this research. They will just see what is the percentage, and they, based on that, simply they can return the paper. So this percentage, it will give you general idea, but it is not sufficient, because if we go to the doctor, if we do some test, we can get some percentage, our BP is this or whatever is there, but there should be some knowledgeable person like the doctor who can diagnose the report, who can understand the report. So this is very important. Okay, and so to get slide bit further, then we see, okay, this much percentage is coming. Then also we see that even sometime this percentage might be coming low, 10%, which we say, okay, this is good, but from where it is coming? Is it coming from few sources, or it is coming from multiple sources? If there is like 10%, but it is coming from only a single source, so which may not be acceptable. It can be like simple, it can be similar situation. I can explain the the people who understand the power qualities things. That one term is like the total harmonic distortion, and the another one is like the third harmonic, fifth harmonic, etc. So the total the percentage similarity index is this much, but how much is similarity coming from one single source? What is the largest value? So generally from a single source, it should not be more than 5%. So when we have the similarity index, so when we get say 30%, it is coming 30%. So we should not get unnecessary worried, but we just try to understand from where it is coming, what are the reasons for that, and then we can try, if the research work is unpublished original, but the text written is slight bit on higher side, so some rewording, some rewritten modification of the text can be done to bring the similarity index to the acceptable level. Then first point, when the paper is ready for submission, and then which journal we would like to submit. There can be few options in which the research paper can fit well. Then based on our past experience, we can see that which journal may have good possibility of acceptance, or how much a journal will take the time in review process, and what is the quality of research work. We can get some general idea based on the experience. Then accordingly, we can try to find the matching journal. Okay, so first of all, we have to see the journal we decide in. Okay, we would like to submit this journal. Then we make sure that the paper is within the scope of that journal. In recent time, there are a lot of publications, lot of researchers. So the journals, they want to maintain the quality of their research publications. So several journals, significant number of papers, can be 15-20% paper. So this paper can be directly written without paper being reviewed. It can be due to several reasons. For example, the paper is out of scope, so it will be directly written. If the paper is very badly formatted, if in the appearance paper is looking very bad, so they can return, saying that can give the options revise and resubmit. Or if the journal considers that research work is not up to the standard of journal, due to several reasons, there is good possibility that papers are getting written. Even my experience is that you might have also experienced that in recent time, if you submit paper several times, it's common practice that paper will be returned without review. It can based on different region. So if you submit paper, it goes in review, we should celebrate. It's not the question of whether paper will be accepted or rejected. Even in recent time, paper we submit, it goes in review, is quite good, because there is good possibility 30-40% that paper can be returned due to several reasons. Even they ask due to some formatting, etc., ask you some changes, it can be changed and resubmitted, but sometimes it is almost desk reject. Then we have to search for some other journal. Now, when we are preparing paper, PhD student or faculty member, they have done their research, they got the results, they have written paper. So we should not be in very hurry. So sometime student will write the paper, even they don't find time to read once. The instant they write, they send it to the supervisor. So please make sure that to read the paper few times, because every time you read, you find some errors. The improvement of the paper is in slow process. So if you read paper few times, your writing will improve, grammatical errors will be minimized, and you can you must do the spell check carefully. Okay. Spell check should be carefully done. Sometimes we are just doing spell check, we are also busy in WhatsApp. Sometimes we have to ignore the error, sometimes we accept it. So the spell check has to be very carefully done, because sometimes there are obvious errors, spell mistakes, which can be easily avoided using the spell check. Because if there are, paper is very good quality, but if there are 5 or 10 spell errors, so there is good possibility of rejection of paper. Only 5-10 grammatical errors can lead to have this rejection of good quality paper. So it is extremely important to read paper few times to avoid that paper is free from any grammatical errors. And then of course paper should be nicely formatted as per the journal requirements. You have prepared the paper, it might have been rejected from one journal, from one publisher, you plan to submit with another publisher. You become slightly bit lazy, you do not see the format, you just submit. They will return the paper, even they will reject the paper, saying that paper doesn't meet the journal formatting requirement. So it is very important that journal is nicely formatted as per the journal requirements. So there would be the guidelines for the authors as well. You can read through, you can follow the guidelines, but in addition you can also have the published paper from that journal, so you can also see their style, so that can also help in formatting of that paper. Sometimes the published paper in 2 columns, but they ask the paper during submission step in single column, so you need not to do in 2 columns. But other things like how the heading, subheading equations to be written, you can get some good understanding from the published paper as well, to avoid any doubt. And then there can be several other guidelines when we are preparing paper. Few of these things I listed, that you should make sure that all the abbreviated terms appearing in the paper first time they are expanded. Sometimes we wrote the abbreviation and there may not be any expert in the area and they struggle to understand its meaning. So it is very important that all the abbreviated terms appearing first time in the papers are expanded. Equations are properly formatted using the equation editor. Sometimes you can see in the paper there is equation from some PDF document, you just select and paste it. So in the paper its appearance will be looking very bad. So please ensure that equations are properly typed using the equation editor so that it is looking nice. And the numbering of equations are in sequence. Sometimes we are human being, the equations, the numbering is not in proper sequence. After equation 6, next equation number is 8. So please ensure that all the equations are in sequence, and the key important equations are given some proper referencing if they are referred from some source. Other guidelines, you also consider that the titles of figures, titles of tables, they are as per journal requirements, they are properly done. All the tables, figures are numbered in sequence and appear in the paper in the same sequence as they are cited in the text. So it is very important that all the figure numbering, sometimes you say figure 5, then figure 7, there is no figure 6. So it doesn't take time, but these few formatting and these types of errors very common sometimes. Even if the reviewer will detect say 1 or 2 types of this reviewer, so he will get the feeling that neither student nor the supervisor bother to read the paper carefully. Okay. Of course, reviewer will read, but then he will be unhappy, and then all the research might be good, but then even then it can lead to the situation of rejection. So when we have done the good research, so these sort of things are some simple things which can be easily avoided. So this sort of error will show our ignorance, because this is not the rocket science. When we have done the good research, then why we cannot do these sort of things? We make sure that headings and subheading numberings are in sequence and consistent in style. Their type of font, numbering and size are consistent. Paper is looking nice. When we are drawing the figure or there is figure in the paper, we ensure that the figure quality is good, figure is visible, good quality, and the text in the figure is easy to read. Sometimes we cannot read in the text, then is not good. So we ensure that text in the figure is easy to read as far as possible. Sometimes figure is very large. Maybe we are having some very big figure, so it might be beyond our control, so the situation could be slight bit understandable. But otherwise, as far as possible, figures should be easy to read. Sometimes we make color figures. Okay. So, but in the journal hard copy, when there is like online publication, then of course it will be published in color, there is no issue. But still the traditional one, when the journal is published, which will be published in figure in the black. And sometimes when we have used in the text that this red line shows this thing, but when paper is placed in black and white, so there is no red line. Okay, so we do consideration to mention like this red solid line or something like that. So we ensure this option as well, that if this is published in black and white, so we keep this sort of thing in mind as well. Then referencing part, extremely important. The referencing style, listing of reference. Different journals have different reference style. Reference style means the author's name, paper title, journal information, journal name, volume, page number, etc. So different journals will have their different style. IEEE have their own style, IIT have their own style, Elsevier have their own style. So we ensure that referencing is uniform and consistent style. Sometimes we see in the paper reference are different, mix of style, which is not good, because these sort of things can be done in one day or so. So these things are extremely important. When we are citing the reference, we have to make sure that reference are cited in sequence. So these points extremely important regarding the formatting, etc. So I think I just try to cover maybe broadly. I would like to leave some time for discussion, and I hope this session was quite useful. So I'm happy to take some questions. I know there will be a large number of PhD student faculty members. I will just stop sharing, and I'm happy to take some question. I hope Dr. Vivek would find this session interesting.
Yes, sir. It was very useful for the, especially in the undergraduates or postgraduate students, or those are have started their research works immediately. Yeah, there is one query from Mr. Sai.
Yes, please. Sai, please ask.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sorry.
Sir, your session is very interesting. I have a small doubt regarding the publication, sir.
Yes, please.
I already sent my paper for an journal. Till 6 months, they won't give any reply, sir. Can I give paper for another journal?
I'm saying if you don't mind, you can tell your name and where you are working, if you wish.
I'm working as an assistant professor in Vignan Bharati Engineering College, sir.
Very good. So you submit one paper, and for the past 6 months, it has been in the review process.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is your query that it has taken long time in the review process?
Yes, sir. When I texted to the editor, he's saying that still it is in review process.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is like one of the serious issue. Several journals have this kind of issue. Just to name, like particularly like IEEE is quite careful in their timeline. Most of the IEEE journals, they are very careful about timelines, but there are several journals I can name. Even I was editor in electric power components and system. Previously, it used to be good journal in the sense that timeline typically around 4 months or so, but now they lost their timeline. I don't know what's the reason. It can take, you told 6 months, it can take even revised paper line more than a year. So unfortunately, with this situation, we can't do much. We can just politely send the reminder to chief, making a request that if you see the system paper has not been gone in review, you can say that request that paper can be assigned for you. If paper is in review, you can just try to send reminder. You can just try to tell, that you have PhD student and who wants to timely do their degree will appreciate if the paper can go in the review. But unfortunately, this is like quite serious things that sometimes the editor, associate editor, they are very careful. Even I can give you an example. This journal, I have got wide experience with large number of journals. Like just to mention this one journal, Renewable and Sustainable Energy Reviews, the impact factor more than 11. One paper we submit for one of some research student. Paper submitted more than 5 months ago, and still paper is held up with the editor. Even I tried to contact with the editorial manager, and they said they have tried to contact the editor, and they will write there in English the standard nice reply, computerized reply, which doesn't carry any meaning. Sometimes you see when you try to contact, there is like almost stereotype recorded message. They will say, if you ask anything, they say, sorry, I cannot help you. Do you have any other question? I can help you. So you feel it almost irritated. They try to do policy, but it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so you have to keep some time patience. Even the journal example I'm mentioning, they say if you are really have some problem, if you wish to withdraw, you can do that. After wasting 6 months, it's not good situation, and these are some things, these are serious issue, particularly the student who they want to get their PhD degree timely. It's very important that they come out with some 2-3 good publication. So one thing is that we should not try to dependent upon like this one paper. To increase the reliability, we plan to have, say, at least 2-3 papers, some parallel works. If they publish 2-3 papers, so hopefully all will not go in this bad situation. But this is something situation is really problematic situation. Many journals, many editors, they are, unfortunately very careless.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your information. I will try to return 2 more papers and send separately for the other journals.
Yeah, even you see that if you get this information, some information, so that comes in your database. So putting your next paper in that journal, you will avoid it. So this is the experience that we gain as we grow in the academics. We get the information data collected based on our experience, how the different journals behave and sort of things.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
If you wish, you can share the journal name. If I know, I can share some more experience.
No, sir. Sorry for that. Because
okay,
if we see that.
Okay, no problem. I just ask lightly, no problem. Okay, please, student, ask if you have some more question.
इसमें delete duplicate आता है ना? Delete duplicate.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, please. So very happy to see you, Rashmi.
Okay, sir, this is related to industrial application. In cooling tower, we're facing a evaporation losses. So how to minimize that evaporation losses? Any research work is going on in your knowledge or in your friend circle?
Cooling tower, eh?
Yes.
Condenser, eh? Yeah. So actually, you asked very, very good question. The conventional power plant. You'll see that huge energy loss takes place in the condensation process. I don't know how much, but it could be 30%, 40%, or even higher. So basically, we are more in the electrical discipline. We are not in this mechanical, but that's why the efficiency of coal-based power plant is quite low. Of course, we want to reuse the water through this condensation process. Of course, the water what we receive is slightly warm as well, but a lot of energy is wasted in the cooling process. I hope it slight bit satisfy your answer, not because we are not directly in too much about this.
Yes. Exactly. Some research in your friend circle or something is going on. Can you share something?
Yeah,
on this problem?
We are not doing directly. I used to teach this BS Power Engineering for BS program, and we do. But on the mechanical side, I supervise one student who worked something about the conventional power system. What is the issue for the low efficiency? He tried to identify some slagging and fouling problems, particularly in the boiler. In the boiler, there is steam production process in which the kind of layer will be deposited on the water walls, and that will lead to have the loss of the efficiency as well. Some more questions from the participants, please. I want to make it very interactive session. Any experience or anything you would like to speak, please feel free.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Dr. Ankur Singh Rana, sir. So
speak again, please.
Sir, this is Ankur Singh Rana, sir.
Yes, please.
Yes, I have one doubt, sir. Like IET now, all IET journals now becomes open access. In India, in most of the reputed institutes, like we do not have the option to go for open access journal. So, like, how to cope up with these type of situations? Because IET was too renowned, and previously it was IEE. So, but now it become open access. So, whatever we did the hard work is simply gone into the vein, sir. So
yeah, even unfortunately, I'm just making light comment. Even IEEE themselves may not be knowing what they are doing. So first they were IEEE, then they become IET. Sometimes they will switch over to the River Valley platform. Sometimes they will join to Wiley. Sometimes they will have collaboration with Congress. Sometimes they will have collaboration with BJP. So they themselves don't know what to do, how to do the business well. Then next year, if they realize that their business is going out of the way, they are not getting papers, they may again switch over, because doing everything open access is not like our Indian system. Like we are developing countries, it's very difficult to afford for one paper, like $2,000. Like even any person, whether it is in any country, who do not have some research scholar means research funding available, it's extremely difficult. So like I try to speak with so many people. Even I'm the editor in IET Renewable Power Generation. Like we really don't know like what they are doing, what they have planned in their mind. So it's difficult. So just to wait and watch, and maybe, as I mentioned, that IEEE, they are very limited. Of course, they increase their slight bit number of journals, but you can see the other options like better than IEEE. There is at par is of course IEEE. Then you can find several good options in elsewhere. Elsewhere there are like huge journals, and there is no space limitations. You can have the paper 20 pages, 30 pages. So there are good options. The impact factor is also quite good in the elsewhere journal as well. So I hope I slide with.
Yeah, fine, sir. Yes, sir, yes. Just only one doubt, sir. Usually, elsewhere journals will take much longer time compared to this IEEE and IET. What I observed till now, I don't know whether I'm correct.
Yeah, but not all elsewhere journal. Some journals, like I can share, like for example, when you are talking about IET, obviously your research work would be good. Then only you'll think of IET. Like for example, there is journal Applied Energy. So this journal is very fast. Typically in a 2 months time, 2 months, 2 months time, they will give their first decision. So there are some good journals, like Timeline. They are very prompt. But in recent time, most of the journals, like their timeline has improved. But unfortunately, there are some journals, the editorial team is not that prompt.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. I am Radhacharan, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, please, please.
Sir, we are very much enriched with your presentation, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Now, my basic
Actually,
objective is, my basic objective is to provide slide bit training about this topic. Of course, this was reliability. I suggested Dr. Vivek, why not we just try to give some good idea about the young students and young faculty members, because this publication is very much important part of this academic life. Yes, please.
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course, I have taken your name as a reference, sir, in one of the Springer journals, sir, regarding load forecasting using artificial intelligence techniques in a literature survey. I think that was published in 2005, sir.
Who is the another author?
Professor J.C. Pandey.
Okay,
Professor J.C. Pandey, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for providing this wonderful session, sir.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate. So my objective is basically to help and train young PhD students and young faculty members. I want to see that they really do the good research work. They plan and publish paper in high quality journal. I see that, you know, in India we have got the huge potential and huge capability, but sometimes with lack of knowledge, sometimes supervisor as well not bother too much, and they submit paper in poor quality journal. It's same thing like the किसान मंडी में गए और बस सामान ऐसे ही मिट्टी के भाव बेच दिया. So this thing is very important that, you know, at least do proper planning. First try to have some confidence, try to publish, at least try paper in some good journal. Because if you think that no, it's very difficult, it will not be there, then if you don't submit, then how it will be? So it is very important that to have some confidence. And as I said, that just don't depend upon like even PhD that only one publication. It is in a quick 1 or 2 years you come up with work of like 2-3 publication. You have like 2-3 papers going in parallel. At least you will get one paper published. At least then you get more confidence. And you plan from that from very beginning, from the day one or from first semester regarding the publication. If you think that okay, first 1 year it will be coursework, and then you will identify problem, 1.5 years gone, and then you do some literature review. Then after 2 years you think of publication, then things becomes very complicated, difficult to do the things in timely manner.
Sir, may I ask one question?
Please, anyone, please feel free. I want to make it as interactive.
First of all, sir, good evening. I am Dr. A.K. Sharma from Rajasthan Tech University, Kota.
Okay, विवेक जी के वहाँ से हैं?
हाँ जी.
शर्मा जी,
I met you in Udaipur, sir.
हाँ वही बोल रहे हैं, तो आप ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता कि राजस्थान से हैं और कोटा से हैं तो कहीं नहीं मिलेंगे, और ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता.
नहीं, बिल्कुल मिले हैं. और I got a paper from IIT as an editor from your side for review. Yeah, so I have talked to you a few times also. My question today, you told a very good information about this. My one student is also joining this program. You told that a conference paper may also be submitted further for journal.
Yes.
So what modification can be done, or slight modification after it can be submitted to journal or not?
Yeah, so actually this, you know, in recent times the process becomes slight bit complex or complicated as we see the situation in past.
Yes.
So first of all, maybe we have to see which conference we submitted paper, Like for example, the conference was from the elsewhere, or
No,
conference
for
was
generally we prefer IEEE, so we can submit in IEEE transactions also,
yes.
or not?
So
Yeah,
the IEEE, for example, you publish first paper, it could be
yeah,
5 pages, 6 pages. Then you want to plan paper. So generally the page length will be limited to 8 pages in the initial submission.
yeah,
So extend about 2 pages more. Even whatever is written in the conference paper, just don't take 6 pages as it is. Try to see where it can be improved, it can be placed in better way, because
yeah.
when we submit paper, it will go Turnitin. If they see that percentage is coming even from your own publication, they say
Yeah.
10 to 20, 25%, even it becomes say 30%, they can get on the paper. So it is very important that that we try to rewrite the text or revise it, make improve, so that its simulate index is within the limit.
Yeah. In Turnitin, how many words is
And in
permitted?
in fact, like one point to add. For example, we have the conference.
Yes.
One particularly IEEE is industry application.
Yeah.
Industry application, they do not take directly paper for submission in IEEE transaction. Their submission process will only, this is the only IEEE transaction which will take paper through the conference. So
Yes.
the conference paper, out of the recommended paper, they will be submitted in the transaction.
Yes.
Yes, what was your next question, please?
Next, on Turnitin
Yes, please.
plugin software, how many words are permitted? मतलब उसमें कितने word हम उसमें लिखें? Sometimes people allow 14 words.
Or just like the exclude
Yes,
that.
exclude. Yes.
Yeah, actually, this is slight bit not very clear. Sometimes it will say how many words you can exclude. Sometimes it will say exclude in terms of percent. So it could be like your decision, or it may not be very hard and fast rule. You can just see, and even I think it will not be stored in the database. You do once, when you can try to readjust it well, just to get what it is looking good.
Okay.
For example, you can say that ignore less than 1%.
Yeah.
Or ignore say less than 20 words or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can just see how it is.
This is from my side, suppose. But what IEEE recommends?
Actually, on these parts, maybe they do not provide some proper guidelines or something like that.
Yes.
They might be doing their own, but they do not tell more detail about that.
Yeah.
But of course, few of the things like bibliography, acknowledgement, etc., this will be excluded.
Presently, sir, you are in UAE, sir.
Yes, I'm currently in UAE, Sharjah.
You are moving very fast.
Yeah, actually, now it has been 2 years, so we are now very close to India.
Yeah.
Main objective to make this moment, at least we can be quite close.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharmaji. Very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Yes,
hello.
Please, Vikas.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am Vikas Bhadoria. I am working in ABS Engineering College, Ghaziabad.
Yes, please.
Sir, actually, I have 2 questions.
Yes, please. Ask.
Is there any possibility that a single publisher can make a uniform reference format in all journals, because it becomes too difficult that if you will submit in one journal, they are having different format in references, and other one is having different format?
Yeah, so actually, the publishers are different and they follow, different style. It becomes, very, very, complicated. Had it been, one consistent formatting, consistent rule, even I can give you example. When we are in India, we have left-hand driving. When we come in UAE, it's right-hand driving. So, so different rules and different things for human being, it is quite difficult. But unfortunately, different publisher, they have their own styles and sort of thing.
Sir, actually, see, a single publisher can have the single format for all journals. You can see that a single publisher is having different reference style for different journals also, sir.
But like which journal you, for example, mentioning?
It's like IEEE Access is having different format, and some other IEEE journals are having different format.
Yeah, might be, could be very similar. Could be very similar. It can be minor change, or in the sense that they are not very much worried, because nowadays the journals are getting more professional. They are not very much worried about these minor things, because sometimes you can see paper is accepted in few weeks, they make it online.
But sir, actually minor correction for a researcher, it will be too much difficult that they have to modify minor things from one format to another format. That's why if this can be implemented, or you can suggest at a suitable level, that a journal or a publisher can have a simple format for all journals, or initially at least in the starting they need not to require that you have to submit in the journal format.
Yeah, no, certainly, like the many journals, like for example, Elsewhere, they have this almost free format, in the sense that double column you submit, and paper goes throughout the review process in that format. Generally, this IEEE and IET, they have adopted the two column formats. Of course, it takes a little bit time, but you can just see what is the paper length, because sometimes if it is exceeds the length, they charge some money for the page charges as well. So they want to restrict the length as well. That's why they go for their format as well.
Sir, next question is related to the charges. What is your opinion about the article processing charges? Those journals which are charging APC, those publications will be considered as a paid publication or free publication?
Actually, this is a very interesting question. Just to speak slight bit lighter way, कि पहले भीख मांगने वाले थोड़े होते थे, अब मतलब सभी बहुत सारे हो गए. तो कुछ साल पहले आपने देखा होगा कि जो I hope everyone understand Hindi, है?
Yes, sir.
So first you may see that they only just started, only few journals they made it the article processing charges, open access. We consider generally that any journal who's asking money is not a good journal. Initially, poor quality journals generally will ask for money. But then in few years they started the business, what they call is open access. So in open access, they say that, okay, your research paper, it will be made widely available, that any author from anywhere, they can freely download. Right? Again, as the author, all authors may not have the capability from their pocket to pay the huge article processing charges. So this is the thing that some journals have made the option, or that any person has opened the I this type of
So actually, whenever we are applying in any government institute in India, and they are writing a one word that paid journals are not considered,